Welcome to the next edition of Social Isolation Poetry Hour. We're going to be reading another poem. Sometimes I'll be reading poems of my own, sometimes other people's, and obviously this is not an hour. I'll read a few poems and then you can take the rest of the hour to figure out what they mean or whatever. And again, stay safe from COVID-19 virus. Whatever you do, wash your hands all the time. Don't go out. If you can stay home, absolutely do. We're all in this together. So without further ado, the next poem by Matthew Chenoweth Wright. Psyche and Cipher, Matter and Demeanor. Where are the extremes of men? Where in the combinations of souls, our manifold attributes, do we find measure of our limits? Trying to predict accurately our ultimate boundaries is an act transcendent of art, approaching complete knowledge, oneself as a species of one. Intricate tug and pull, the behaviors and relationships, behaviors between individuals, this complex planet, growling with its tools, technology, petri, medium, our excesses and extremes considered at times movable markers associated with statistical records, saying as much for our species' vitality as a cooperative as our orbiting ideals, our space mile count clockwork, says for prowess of inquisitiveness, thirst for new experience, we've learned as many ways to destroy as to live. Our calling card stamped in triumph, polio vaccine, x-rays, the bomb, parliamentary law, and social welfare. Never could get that word right. And social welfare. Apollo 8's miracle, sustaining our hungry mouths, pie, commonality against common morbidity. They become necessities in our minds. We allowed these ideas to occur. A need for an idea, a hunger in the absence of light. The impossible becomes possible, and what is done or created as a species, we cross a threshing, harvesting another broken barrier. It seems with a little luck and enough creative thinking we could solve every problem. Unfortunately, we are the problem that faces the earth. We have created a garden of evils for our children to dwell in, literally keeping the planet running with all 7 billion humans. Draining her essences is bankrupting her, unbalancing the books until a shift into a mode of healing, fire or ice, burning the chaff, reaching equilibrium, free of soot and guilt, chlorofluorocarbons, and us. It's a pity we're going to have to ruin Mars. Inversion layers in the deep canyons, a domed swimming pool atop Mount Olympus, and people ignorant to stray Pepsi cans by the side of the road to eternity. Human being human, distinguished as being the only creature in the universe known to instigate barroom brawls, unable to stop ourselves. Some hideous creature taps our shoulder to ask local time, accidentally trips our spouse with a silky, slimy pseudopodal tongue, accidentally knocks our drink over. We'll blast him back to Venus. Yes, sirree. 27,925 Anno Domini. Half the suns of the galaxy habitated by our orphans, half the suns missing or supernovaed due to human error. Just another human's discarded bad idea. In the end of time, we'll take our own measure as a species. Doubtless some human will forget to, before being the last to leave, turn out the light. And I'll read a second one. This is called There's No Reason to Panic, My Blog Hasn't Been Subpoenaed. There's no reason to panic. My blog hasn't been subpoenaed to testify before a congressional subcommittee and made to tell the truth about the whole sordid air, my keystrokes into that electronic air, and I err if I say that my accuracy in fact, sir, in fact did lack, prosaically, a remark or three that would suffice to be called diction, all for fiction. The events I've described in my mind may have had their faces changed, protecting their identities and their names so they can stay unpaid, and thus the blog is laid like stepping stones between truth and lie, barely submerged in a mist of barely attentive minds, and only time